Say you're dating, right? And or married, and your partner comes home and says, there's something I did I'm not completely proud about. I want to share that with you. So you're like, what did you do? I'll fire, what did you do? And then you put your popcorn to the side and you're like, I'm ready, tell me now. And you follow into the bedroom, like, relax, I'll tell you. No, tell me. You have my attention now, tell me. So he says, I fooled around and I don't want you to hear it from somebody else. And I just want to own up to my fooling around. Would you rather he tells you he just deals with it himself? Oh my goodness. I know a guy who went to a stag party and he did something foolish. And so he was really bugged. So 2 weeks later, he sat his wife down and said, I went to this stag party and I fooled around and I'm not proud. I just wanted to tell you. And as women often want, she wanted more details, like what happened. So say I was drunk and I, had way too much to drink and alcohol was flowing and people were dancing on top of the tables. And before you know it, I was in the room sleeping with some girls. It's like, girls? What girls? And so he said, I slept with 4 women. Oh my goodness. And so thankfully, they went and sorted it out through counseling. But whether you prefer being told or not, I want us to have a chat about infidelity and how to handle it. Because it's rife. I mean, for some reason, society is filled with people who are dishonest about multiple relationships they're having. Some are even having fully fledged families unbeknownst to their wives or husbands. So I think it's worthy a conversation to have. My name is Eric and this is Eric Stories. Good evening. Thank you for choosing to hang out with me. Please subscribe on the YouTube channel. So it has to go without being said that for some people, cheating automatically communicates a breakup. It's the ultimate betrayal. They're not going to talk to you. It's ended, kaput, done, bye-bye, bye Felicia. We are not discussing it. But for some others, they still have feelings for their partner. So they decide to stay and try to fix the relationship. That being said, when you decide to stay, then it's important to know that you need to present yourself with a lot of patience to work again, both of you, in building trust. That is very important. Now, I thought about these in 2 segments. You who's cheated, and then the person who's been cheated on. And I wanted to talk about, in my mind, about things I think are important that you should do if you're in that situation. All right? Feel free, as always, to share your mind with me on the DM or on the comment section. I value and really adore your opinions about this stuff. So let's start with the person who's been cheated on, because he or she is there grieved, right? I think you who's been cheated on should communicate openly about your feelings, including making it clear your intended course of action should the cheating continue. So say you've caught them once, make it clear, very clear, what that cheating again is going to precipitate. So yes, I've forgiven you this time, and yes, we patched up the relationship, and yes, we're working to build our trust. But these are my terms. It's very important to communicate that. You are permitted to do that because you're hurt and you're angry. All right? Important reminder though, too often we confuse being emotional with expressing our emotions. So men and women alike are guilty of this. So he's cheated, you've caught him or he's confessed. Then you say, you can't just put your thing in your pants. Why do you have to dip everything inside every other skirt? When you see a skirt, you dip. When you see a skirt, you dip. You're being emotional. There's a world of difference between that and saying, I feel unneeded, I feel unloved, I feel disrespected. Worse, I cannot trust you when you cheat. See? Very different. You can be emotional, but it's not the same thing as expressing your emotions. That helps. That helps. So you want not to skirt around your feelings, very ably communicate your disappointment and your expectations going forward. All right? The second thing I think is important upon you to do, the person who's been cheated on, is working to rebuild the trust and staying in the present moment, all right? Rather than worrying about the past. Sometimes we do that a lot. So somebody has done something, maybe they've wound up, maybe you caught them, but you're always just replaying the episode of what she or he did. It's an exercise in futility, all right? If you, however, can't let go of the negative past feelings, maybe the heart is so bad and you feel really, really aggrieved, maybe it's better that you end the relationship instead of maybe, pushing and being very unhappy. There are people who do things like, I want your password, I want your phone. When you get here, you have to put your phone on the table and you need to call me every 5 minutes or 1 hour, 30 minutes, and I need to know where you are. Or doing things like getting a private investigator, or installing some tracking device in his car, or showing up at his office and announce. That is just tedious. It is tedious. Remember, they've cheated, and yes, it hurts, but they don't lose their privacy just because they've cheated. If you can't see yourself moving past the negative feelings of their heinous hearted to you, then call it a day. It's fine. You can call it a day. What do you think? About you who's been cheated on, I think it's also important that we must say to trust yourself. This is often very hard to do. It's the hardest thing to do. Oftentimes we are too self-critical when somebody hurts us. We're so self-critical. And you start having things and thoughts around, should I have done things differently perhaps? Is it, should I have seen it coming? Is it how I was behaving towards him or her? What is it I'm lacking? Is it my tribe? You start asking yourself these questions. And again, it's an exercise in futility. Instead, trust yourself and your own feelings and know that, yes, even though you don't feel okay right now, eventually you're going to be fine. It's not you that caused these people to fool around. The decision was on them. They abused your trust. It's not you. Don't be hard on yourself. That must be said. It's so important. On to the guy who's cheated, or the chick who's cheated, or the lady who's cheated. If you're a lady or a gentleman and you cheated, and both of you have agreed that, let's give it another shot. We love each other. I still have feelings for you. There's so much we've invested in this relationship, and there's no way this little cheating incident is going to make us go asunder. What need you do? I think there are important things you must do. You, the person who's cheated. What are they? First, on top of my mind, take responsibility. Own up to your behavior. It's best if you can vocalize it and verbalize it. I am sorry. I am completely sorry. I cheated on you. It was improper. I've abused your trust. I've abused the relationship and defiled our union. I am sorry. Don't keep quiet there like a mute and you're there practicing mutism. No. Own up. It goes a long way. I don't know if it's the same for you, but I feel so nice when people own up to their malevolence and they say, I'm sorry. I really I was in error. I shouldn't have done that. Please find it in your heart. Forgive me. I feel like, yeah, thanks. Not gaslighting me at it's you. I'm quiet because I'm thinking about the things you made me do, like you've been pushing me to do it. No. That's off. So take full responsibility for your actions. All right? And also it helps to understand that your behaviors have caused your partner to behave some type of way, including distrusting you or giving you a second glance when you say something. You've hurt them. They are angry. It's completely okay that they should feel that way. Second thing after cheating, the thing you must do in my books, keep promises going forward. Call when you say you'll call. Show up when you say you'll show up. Do what you say. And in other words, just keep your word. This is important, and it shows that you're worthy of the trust you're trying to rebuild. It's important. Now she or he is hurt and very much on the edge. So anything you do that is off-ish will set them off again. So you want to be on top of your game if you're going to work the relationship. If they need space, again, you've hurt them. They don't owe you propriety. They don't owe you hugs and kisses. You've hurt them. If they say they need space and you need to get out, go. You've messed the relationship. Give them space. All right? You need to recognize and respect the process of building up trust. And it doesn't take a minute or two. Building up trust, or rather rebuilding trust, takes time. It's very important. I'm uncomfortable with people like, you're my wife. I'm your wife, yes, but you've defiled the matrimonious bed and I don't feel ready yet to continue the relationship. Give her space. It's only right that you do that, don't you think? Finally, it's very important going forward, if you want to patch things up, for both of you to really interrogate your individual selves and then openly and honestly find what your partner needs in the relationship. All right? Then listen to them. And then communicate what you need in the relationship. And hopefully they listen to you. Then you can sit down and say, am I willing? Am I able to meet my partner's needs? And vice versa. Can they meet these needs? And to be honest, if they can't, then consider leaving the relationship. It's as simple as that. There are things you need that you feel are outside of the relationship. Don't torture him, don't torture her. End the relationship. Be with the people who will make you happier. No need of staying with somebody that's trying to work things out with you, but you keep breaking the promise again and again and again. I think that can help. What do you think? What do you think? Share with me down below. Good evening.